In Washington, new information has surfaced about the White House's decision to hold $400 million of U.S. military aid to Ukraine. An internal review by the White House uncovered emails showing Acting Chief of Staff Mick Mulvaney asking for legal justification for the freeze. This email was apparently sent after President Trump had already ordered it.
The hold, of course, is at the center of the House Democrats' investigation into whether the president should be removed from office. Ben Tracy is at the White House, and he joins us with more. So, Ben, explain to our audience the significance of these emails.
Well, I think significant for a couple of reasons. The first being that this looks to be a significant effort by the acting chief of staff, Mick Mulvaney, to find a reason to justify this hold on that $400 million of military aid to Ukraine after the fact, meaning that perhaps what the White House has been saying publicly is that all along they were worried about corruption and that's why they withheld the aid. If you're looking for a legal justification afterwards, that would suggest perhaps that is not true. And then, of course, there's also the timing of this. This comes as Democrats are getting very close to forming articles of impeachment against the president, and these emails could provide new evidence.
So we're finding out about these emails because of an internal review being conducted by the White House. What does the release of the information tell us about, the conflicts that may be taking place inside the White House?
Quite a bit. This is a White House known for leaks and infighting, and this definitely falls into that category. This seems to be a review done by the White House counsel's office. Pat Cipollone is in that position, and it appears to have caught the acting chief of staff, Mick Mulvaney, by surprise. That's significant because the two of them do not get along, and it is a very open secret here in Washington that Cipollone would very much like Mick Mulvaney's job. So that gives you some context as to how this may have happened here at the White House in what appears to be a release of information that's kind of embarrassing for the acting chief of staff.
It sounds like an episode of The Apprentice. Ben, we're also learning about the House Intelligence Committee obtaining some new information about a key figure tied to the president's personal attorney, Rudy Giuliani. What do we know?
Yeah, so this guy, his name is Parnas. He's one of Rudy Giuliani's associates. He was key in trying to kind of dig up dirt on the Bidens in Ukraine and get these investigations announced. Reportedly, the Intelligence Committee is now in possession of audio and video recordings as well as photographs from Parnas. We don't know what that material shows or what it intimates or implicates, but we also know through Parnas's attorney that he is willing to come testify on Capitol Hill and also seems to have some information about Devin Nunes, the ranking Republican on the Intelligence Committee, meeting with Ukrainian officials about the Bidens. So he has kind of put this tantalizing tease out there that there might be more to this story than we currently know.
I also want to ask you about former White House counsel Don McGahn. A U.S. District Court judge is expected to release a decision on whether or not he should honor a subpoena to testify before the House Judiciary Committee. So no doubt there will be others who have been subpoenaed, who have worked for the White House or work for the White House now that are waiting to see, what this decision is going to be. But can you talk to us about what his testimony could bring to the impeachment investigation?
Yeah, this is a ruling by this judge that we've been waiting for weeks, and the judge says it will happen by the end of today. So that should be interesting. This mainly goes back to the Mueller inquiry. So McGahn was the White House counsel. What Democrats are hoping for, Democrats subpoenaed him. He refused the subpoena because the White House claimed absolute immunity, and then they took it to court. So this judge will say whether or not he can testify. His testimony could be interesting because McGahn would be in a position to know whether or not President Trump lied to the Mueller investigation when he provided written testimony. So that's part of what the Democrats would be after. The real significance, though, could be that if the judge says, yes, you should go testify on Capitol Hill, that subpoena is worth more than the claims of immunity by the White House. That could free somebody up like John Bolton, who clearly wants to go to Capitol Hill and tell a story, but said that he wanted to wait for this ruling to see kind of where the law falls as to whether you obey the executive or the legislative branch.
All right. Ben, as it is Thanksgiving week, just real quick before we let you go on a lighter note, have you seen the White House turkeys?
I have not, but we hear rumors there's a Christmas tree being delivered here today. The official White House Christmas tree will arrive on the property, but there will be a turkey here tomorrow, and if history holds, the president will pardon that turkey.
Usually
and will live a long and fruitful life in some farm somewhere.
Right. Well, if history holds, right?
Right.
Well,
so far, 3
this
years.
is an unpredictable place. You never know.
Usually they're staying at a hotel hotel
Right.
before they come over. So who knows?
I wonder what hotel that could possibly be.
I don't know.
All right, Ben, Tracy, thank you very much.
Thanks, guys.